Hi, it's Lynn again, and today I'm going to do everybody's favorite thing, and that's solving word problems. And today's word problem is going to be using quadratics, which means we're going to have to be using factoring, set it equal to 0, all those things. But everybody's favorite part is setting up the problem. So this is my problem that I'm going to do. Find the length of the shorter side of a right triangle if the longer side is 10 more than the shorter side and the hypotenuse is 10 less than twice the shorter side. You're like, what is that? So what we want to do here is draw a picture of our right triangle so we can get an idea of what's going on. This is part of the identify the variables. So I'm going to draw a right triangle. And it's a right triangle if that is 90 degrees. So this is the shorter side. So that's going to be my part 1 of identifying the variables. And I'm going to go over here. So I'm going to say 1, x is going to be the shorter side. Okay, so I'm going to label that here. And so then I look at the next sentences. Find the length of the shorter side. So that's always going to be what you want your variable to be. The longer side, which is this one, is 10 more than the shorter side. So x plus 10 is going to be the longer side. And then the hypotenuse, and we'll label these on the picture in a second, the hypotenuse is 10 less than twice the shorter side. So it has to be 10 less than something. So we have to have the twice shorter side minus 10. So this is going to be 2x minus 10. And this is going to be x plus 10. So I hope you can read that. So this is the part 1, identifying the variables. I do a picture, finish my triangle up there. And so we have x plus 10, and 2x minus 10. And I say, okay, now what do we do? Now is the part where we write the equation. That's the second part. And one thing I know about right triangles is that the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, holds true for a right triangle. So I'm going to use that, using parentheses. That's one of my tips and tricks for today, is use parentheses. So the second point is write the equation. So I'm going to say x squared plus x plus 10 squared, which I'm going to put in parentheses, it's very important, equals parentheses 2x minus 10 squared. Now I'm going to bring to everybody's attention right now the next mistake that people try to make is they just try to say x plus 10 is going to be x squared plus 100. But what you really need to do, instead of writing squared, what I like to do is write it down twice. So it's x times x plus 10, and so this one would be times 2x minus 10, so I don't make the mistake of not foiling. So I'm going to work this out. This is going to be x squared plus, I'm going to FOIL this, and it's going to be x squared plus 20x plus 100 equals, and then I'm going to FOIL this out. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. And then it's going to be minus 20x, so that's minus 40x plus 100. So I FOILed both of these things. And then I'm going to simplify both sides. So this is going to be 2x squared plus 20x plus 100 equals 4x squared minus 40x plus 100. So now I know that I've recognized this as a quadratic because it has x squareds involved in it. So what I need to do is decide which side do I want to move things to. Either this side can be 0 or this side can be 0. I'm going to move this side over here because this 2x squared is smaller than the 4x squared. So I'm not going to get negative numbers, which are big places for mistakes. So I'm going to subtract all these things from the like terms over here. So minus 2x squared minus 20x minus 100. So it's going to be minus 2x squared minus 20x minus 100. So this side now is that magical 0. This is going to be 2x squared, and this is minus 60x. And these add to 0. So it's just 2x squared minus 60x. All right, I'm going to take a break and erase some of this. Okay, so I've made some more room now, so I'm going to move this up here for continuous. So I have 0 equals 2x squared minus 60x. This is a quadratic, so we need to factor this. So this, as you recall, the main kind of factoring I want you to try first is greatest common factor factoring. So we can take out a 2x here. So we have 0 equals 2x times x minus 30. And the zero product property says we set each one of these factors, this is a factor and this is a factor, equal to 0 because this is equal to 0. So we say 2x equals 0 or x minus 30 equals 0. So we're going to get two answers here. And since this is a word problem, you have to decide, are both answers legitimate or is one not legitimate because it's a word problem? So here, if we divide both sides by 2, 0 divided by 2 is just 0, so we get x equals 0 as one answer. And here we add 30 to both sides. We get x equals 30 as one answer. One of these doesn't make sense. If x equals 0, then we don't have a triangle here because this side is 0. So we can eliminate the x equals 0, and so x equals 30 is our answer. So as far as the points on the problem, you would get 1 point for doing this, 1 point for writing the equation, the third point for solving this and getting here, and then the fourth point would be to answer the short side is equal to 30. Short side is equal to 30. And that would be your final answer. So remember those tips. And there's lots of different kinds of quadratics. If you get word problems with an x squared in it, you have to remember to factor it, set it equal to 0, etc. So there's one example.